When I was 33 years old, was 8 months postpartum with my second child, and I had what they call a SCAD heart attack. And it's basically when your artery spontaneously tears open. It started on a Sunday. We were at home just kind of having a lazy day, and I did feel some pain in my upper left back, and I just kind of attributed it to lifting my 10-pound baby at that point. But then the pain kind of progressed to my chest, and it did feel tight. People describe it as like an elephant sitting on your chest. Mine, I would describe as like the pain was kind of just radiating through, like from my back to my chest. I kind of got a little nervous because I was like, what is going on? My husband told me to lay down. Of course, I got on my phone and Googled my symptoms, and it said heart attack. In hindsight, I should have called 911. But we were in such disbelief that this could be happening to someone like me. Once I got to the hospital, they did an EKG, and the nurse ran out of the room and then came back in and said, "We're gonna do this again, okay?" And then over the loudspeaker, and this part always gets me, they said, code cardiac, code cardiac. And I looked at my mom and I was like, "This isn't for me, is it?" And the nurse looked at my mom and said, "Yeah, it is." And I said, "Well, you have to save me. I have 2 little babies at home." Then that following morning, they rushed me back down to the cath lab and installed 3 more stents. The first time was through my wrist. The second time was through my groin. And basically the artery was tearing. It kept tearing. So they got it from one side and then it kept tearing. So they had to come in through the other side to pretty much stop the heart attack. But most of the cases that are related to SCAD, there is an underlying condition called fibromuscular dysplasia. And that basically means you have thin and weak arteries. It's a connective tissue disorder. That is also rare. Whether I was born with it or developed it, I never knew I had it, but I have thin and weak arteries. They say, it was probably the perfect storm. You take my fibromuscular dysplasia with, 2 pregnancies and all those increased hormones that are flowing through my body was probably the perfect storm for a SCAD heart attack. My heart was in heart failure after my heart attack, but thanks to cardiac rehab, my ejection fraction is back to normal. So my heart is normal. I just want to say how truly appreciative I am to the American Heart Association for allowing me to share my story and for also supporting the research that goes into hopefully preventing this horrible disease from happening to future generations like my children's.